Hello everybody and welcome to this microphone test featuring the new Buds Gen 2. Now just keep in mind this is strictly a microphone test and not a full-on review. But in this video we're going to be testing the microphone on these earbuds in 3 different controlled environments, and we're also going to be comparing it to a few other earbuds. But with all that being said, we're going to be starting off with a pair of wired earbuds so that we can get our baseline. So these are the Apple EarPods, and overall I think I sound pretty good. But in this video we're going to be testing these earbuds in 3 different scenarios. First, in a quiet room like this one. Then we're going to be simulating road noise, which will be supplying us with a constant low frequency sound. And then we're going to be simulating a coffee shop, which will be supplying us with a random higher frequency sound. Now, even though the wired earpods sound pretty good in a quiet room, they do absolutely nothing to block out any ambient noise, because right now you can clearly hear all of this road noise. And the same thing can be said about being in a coffee shop. My voice sounds pretty good, but you can clearly hear all of this chatter in the background. But now here's the star of the show, the Buds. In a quiet room, the Buds sound pretty good. Your voice sounds fairly natural with a good amount of amplification, but more importantly, there's zero hissing in the background and your voice doesn't peak. So if you're looking for a pair of earbuds to take lots and lots of phone calls with, the Buds are good just as long as you're in a quieter environment. However, when it comes to blocking out ambient noise, the Buds do keep your voice front and center, and they do try to reduce noise pollution. But you can still hear a good amount of road noise in the background while I'm talking. And if I were to stay quiet for a minute, then you're still going to hear a decent amount of road noise in the background. But for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this road noise. But if we were to switch back over to the Buds, it is slightly reduced. And the same thing can be said about blocking out chatter or a random higher frequency sound. The Buds do try to block out ambient noise, all while still keeping your voice front and center. But you can still hear a decent amount of chatter in the background. And then there's also the fact that your voice does start to develop a slight echo or reverb. But for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this chatter. But if we were to switch back over to the Buds, it is slightly reduced. So overall, the Buds have a good sounding microphone for phone calls, which is super important these days, just given the amount of remote work people do now. But you do want to try to take phone calls with these earbuds in a quieter environment, because even though the Buds do try to block out noise pollution, a good amount still manages to get in, and your voice might develop an echo. But now let's move on to the rest of the competition, starting with AirPods. Now, just to save time, the microphone on both the AirPods and AirPods Pro perform basically identical. They both put an emphasis on your voice without a lot of amplification, so peaking really isn't a problem. And this microphone also does a decent job of blocking out constant low frequency sounds like this road noise. Now, you can still hear a little bit of road noise in the background, but the main focus here is my voice. And the same thing can be said about blocking out chatter. Now, even though you can still hear a little bit of chatter in the background, the main focus here is my voice. And unlike the Buds, my voice on the AirPods doesn't start to develop an echo or any reverb. So even though the Buds have a good sounding microphone, the AirPods do a better job of blocking out noise pollution. Next up are the Galaxy Buds Live, and overall, these earbuds also have a good sounding microphone as well. However, this microphone really likes to put an emphasis on your voice, but your voice doesn't sound robotic or peak, which is good. The Galaxy Buds Live also do a really good job of blocking out road noise, all while still keeping your voice front and center, and it doesn't add an echo to your voice. And they also do a good job of blocking out chatter. Now, you're still going to hear a little bit of chatter in the background, and those louder, high-pitched sounds can get in and jumble your voice a little bit, but your voice is still front and center, and there's no echo. But then there's the Galaxy Buds Pro, which perform very similarly to the Lives, except they do have a little bit more amplification to them than the Lives. So your voice still sounds good, but you might hear a little bit more of an echo with them. Now, when it comes to blocking out road noise, the Galaxy Buds Pro do a decent job of blocking out road noise, but since they do have a little bit more amplification to them, a little more noise pollution does manage to get in than the Galaxy Buds line. And the same thing can be said about blocking out chatter. The Galaxy Buds Pro block out a decent amount of chatter and they don't have an echo to them. But since the Galaxy Buds Pro do have a little bit more amplification to them than the Live, a little bit more noise pollution does manage to get in, and your voice will might get jumbled up a little more frequently than with the Lives. Next up are the Jabra Elite 85Ts, which I feel have a decent enough sounding microphone for phone calls while in a quiet room. But personally, I do wish this microphone had a little bit more focusing or amplification going on my voice, because sometimes it can be a little harder to hear me. However, this microphone does let in a noticeable amount of road noise, and this microphone also lets in a noticeable amount of chatter. So personally, I would try to avoid taking phone calls with these earbuds in a noisier environment. And overall, I do feel the Echo Buds outperform this microphone. But finally, these are the OnePlus Buds, and these earbuds really do have a very impressive microphone on them. In a quiet room, my voice sounds great and it sounds very natural. But what's really impressive is the amount of low frequency sound these earbuds manage to block out. Because right now, you can barely hear any road noise in the background. Because for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this road noise. But if we were to switch back over to the OnePlus Buds, it is severely reduced. And again, when it comes to blocking out chatter, these earbuds do a very impressive job as well. Because again, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this chatter. But if we were to switch back over to the OnePlus Buds, it is severely reduced, and my voice still sounds great without any echo to it. So overall, the EarPods 2 have a decent sounding microphone on them for phone calls. They have a decent amount of amplification, but your voice still sounds natural and there's zero hissing in the background. Now, even though they do try to block out noise pollution, personally, I would recommend that you try to take phone calls with them in a quieter environment because they still let in a decent amount of noise pollution. And if there is a lot of ambient noise, then your voice might start to develop an echo. But nonetheless, the EarPods 2 do have a very usable microphone on them. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit that like button and get subscribed. It helps out more than you realize. If you want to pick any of the products up mentioned in this video, those will be linked in the description down below, and you can also support the channel by checking out the merch store. But other than that, I'll catch you next time.